created the Zoom because ever you guys need to Okay, and we are now live. The meeting of the City of Socorro
Okay.
Historical Landmark Commission is set to begin. First and foremost, the City of Socorro would like to thank everyone and ask for your patience during this difficult time we have been presented with. Everyone, please remember to silence any electronics to avoid sound interruption. No disruptive behavior or outbursts will be tolerated, and violators are subject to call disconnection and possible prosecution. In accordance with Section 418.016 of the Texas Government Code and by the order of the Office of the Governor issued March 16, 2020, the Historical Landmark Commission of the City of Socorro will broadcast the meeting scheduled today, Wednesday, October 14, 2020 at 6 p.m. from council chambers located at 860 Rio Vista Road, Socorro, Texas, via telephone conference and live stream in order to advance the public health goal and practice social distancing to slow the spread of coronavirus COVID-19. The public that signed up and any presenters will be called upon by the presiding officer during the meeting to speak during the public comment or their agenda item during the meeting following Government Code 551.042. La reunión de la Comisión de Propiedades Históricos de la Ciudad de Socorro está por empezar. Primeramente queremos darles las gracias y pedimos su paciencia durante esos momentos críticos que enfrentamos. Les pedimos que pongan en silencio todo equipo electrónico para evitar interrupción de sonido. No se va a tolerar ningún tipo de comportamiento perjudicial o revoltoso. A quien no siga estas reglas, su llamada será desconectada y puede ser infraccionado. De acuerdo con sección 418.016 del Código del Gobierno de Texas y por orden de la Oficina del Gobernador, anunciado el 16 de marzo de 2020, la Comisión de Propiedades Históricos de la Ciudad de Socorro transmitirá su reunión hoy, 14 de octubre de 2020 a las 6 p.m. desde la Sala del Concilio, ubicados en 860 Rio Vista Road, Socorro, Texas, por medio de conferencia telefónica y será transmitida en vivo para avanzar en el objetivo de salud pública y practicar el distanciamiento social para tomar medidas preventivas para prevenir la propagación del coronavirus COVID-19 a los demás y por la seguridad del público. El público y los presentadores serán anunciados por el oficial conduciendo la reunión para poder hablar durante la sección del comentario público después de la discusión del artículo de la agenda por cual se apuntaron siguiendo las reglas del gobierno 551.042.
Hi, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes. Yes.
I'll have Lisbeth test her microphone now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Kathy, can you call this meeting to order, please?
Kathy, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6:04 p.m. on October 14th, 2020.
Perfect. Establishment of quorum, we have 5 members present. Ms. Mary Perez,
Here.
Mr. Alfredo Gonzalez,
Here.
Ms. Kathy Apodaca,
Here.
Ms. Marty Loya,
Here.
and Mr. David Estrada.
Here.
Okay. Line item number 3, excuse absent members. Mr. Lujan did say he was not going to be able to make it for today's meeting. I would need a motion to excuse.
I make a motion to excuse Mr. Lujan.
I second.
Okay, I have a first by Mary to excuse Mr. Gilbert Lujan, second by Mr. Alfredo Gonzalez. Ms. Mary Perez?
No,
Aye.
I think it was David. David, did you make the motion to second?
Yes.
Okay, it's David. Sorry about that. Okay, Mr. Alfredo Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Mary Perez?
Aye.
Ms. Kathy Apodaca,
Yes.
Ms. Marty Loya,
Yes.
and Mr. David Estrada.
Yes.
Motion carried. We do not have anyone sign up for open forum, line item number 4. So we'll go to line item number 5, consider and take action on the approval of meeting minutes for the September 16th, 2020 Special Historical Landmark Meeting.
Want to make a motion to approve?
I second it.
I have a first by David, is that correct?
Yes.
And a second by Marty?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Mary Perez?
Aye.
Mr. Alfredo Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Kathy Apodaca?
Yes.
Ms. Marty Loya?
Yes.
And Mr. David Estrada. David?
Yes.
Perfect. Motion carried. Line item number 6, consider and take action on the certificate of appropriateness for cement work on the property located at 10050 Socorro Road.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, commissioners. We do have an application before us to go ahead and repair a cement slab that is a patio for a house that is located right in front of the mission. As you can see in the backup, the actual cement slab has overgrowth from grass where it's just been broken and a little under maintenance. The applicant is not looking to do anything different other than go ahead and just replace the actual slab to the existing condition. No paint, no other repairs will be done. Only that of the cement work is what he's asking for. The applicant is also on the line if you need anything. His name is Mr. Martinez. And just from the HPO's office, we didn't see anything controversial or concerning in this application item. Staff does recommend approval.
I don't see any reason.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I'm sorry, Kathy, were you saying something?
No, I just said I didn't see any reason to disapprove his request.
I second the motion to approve.
This is I second that motion, Mary.
Okay, Mary, I have you as first, and I have Marty as second, okay? And it's
Okay,
motion,
that's
it's,
fine.
okay, it's motion to approve. So may I have your votes? Ms. Mary Perez?
Aye.
Mr. Alfredo Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Kathy Apodaca?
Yes.
Ms. Marty Loya?
Yes.
And Mr. David Estrada.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Line item number 7, consider and take action on the certificate of appropriateness for the installation of a canopy on the property located at 11532 Socorro Road.
Good evening, commissioners. Before us is an application to go ahead and construct a backyard canopy with metal poles. We did go ahead and visit the property that's located at 11532 Socorro Road to go ahead and just see if any of the view would be seen from the actual street or the surrounding area. It is a new construction. He does not have a canopy currently on his property. In the backup, he did include kind of the layout of the house, as well as a storage unit and a carport that's currently on his property. He did also include the actual cement area where he's looking to put the canopy on top of. Based on our findings, we do not see an issue in the request. There is nothing that he would be demolishing or removing that is of historical significance. This would be our first ever application for a canopy. We've never seen one before. He is going to be using metal for the actual poles of the canopy, and then using high polymer plastic for the actual canopy. Is there any questions from the commissioners that we can entertain? I do know the applicant is also on the line.
Is this for the carport in
Yes.
the back, Victor?
So in the backup, it does say carport. I believe that is not where it's gonna go. I believe that's what he's listed as the garage in his drawing. Based on the documentation that the applicant provided, it seems like the cement area is exactly opposite to the carport based on the
Oh.
drawing that was submitted with the application. So currently there is nothing in that top left corner, and that's where he has drawn the square for the cement area.
Victor, what's the color of the canopy?
He did not provide the color for the canopy, but we can go ahead and ask Mr.
I can see-
Navarro. Are you on the line, Mr. Navarro?
Yes, I'm on the line, ma'am. Hello.
Hello, Mr.
Yes,
Navarro.
hello.
I
What-
planned to leave it red to match my roof in my house. Kind of,
Oh.
well, it's like this kind of, this kind of burgundy reddish. So it's actually listed in the colors that I can use.
Okay,
So it's gonna match.
But it's
It's gonna match my roof.
I see. Okay. More of a burgundy?
And they give me a list of colors that I can use. And of course,
Uh-huh.
my house is painted one of the colors that I can use, and that's the color that I actually wanted, or I'm planning to put the roof and also a little bit of the sideway of the side. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's actually gonna match my house. And something
Okay.
nice about it though, from the street, you are not gonna be able to see inside though, but my canopy is gonna be kind of like something like vintage, because we collect vintage stuff, like old doors and things like that. And
Uh-huh.
that's one of the reasons.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
My pleasure, man.
Did the commissioners have any other questions?
I'd like to make,
Oh, okay, go ahead.
no, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I have a motion by Mary. Can I get a second?
Yes,
I would, before voting on this, I would like to see maybe pictures of what he has in mind, or some type of like a side view and elevation, drawing of what the canopy looks like. When I'm envisioning those newer canopies that I see out, throughout the city, that kind of like a tarp, like a real heavy mesh type tarp. But like right now, he's providing location, but he's not providing anything that tells us what it's going to look like. I'm sure he'll comply with the color, but I think he needs to provide more information. And then I have a question: does this need to look like does it need to meet certain guidelines as far as style? Does it need to be, the style that we have or that we're looking for? Or?
Currently, there are no restrictions or guidelines in the actual historical corridor for canopies. So this would be our first ever application that we reviewed for a canopy.
Are there guidelines for porches?
There are, but a porch would be adhered to a house. A canopy, since it's a freestanding structure, would not be considered a porch.
Is the canopy temporary or is it a permanent canopy?
He is asking for a permanent canopy that would be using metal poles to go into the ground, but it's not adhered to the actual house or a building. So that's why it wouldn't be considered kind of like a porch.
And the canopy is plastic, correct?
It's like a plastic blend, but I'm not sure what the actual main component of the material would be.
So is it tolerable to winds and things like that? I mean, are we gonna be having an issue, or he's gonna have an issue really if he puts something like that up?
It would be subject to anything that any applicant would put up to the environment conditions.
I agree with David. We might, if he could get us a picture of the manufacturer, just so we'll have an idea of what we're looking at.
Excuse me, can I talk?
Yes,
Yes.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you. I did provide you guys with the size of the canopy, the exactly measurement, and they told me also that I have to make it strong for wing, of course, and that's why I'm making it out of the poles out of metal, which is more strong than the wood. And they told me that I have to put every 10 foot cimientos. I don't know how to say it in English, cimientos, though, and every 10 foot. And luckily for me, though, when I get the property, this cement area that it was there already, it comes with already with all those facilities. That's the reason I'm actually wanted to finish it up and make it look nice. And like I said, I give you all the planos and the way it's gonna look and everything. Though I don't know if I have it there.
I didn't receive a photo of what it would look like. I do have 2 drawings, Mr. Navarro. One is a hand drawing, and one is a certification from Calderon Engineering. But they're just specifications of the layout of the property. But there is no photo of what you're trying to construct or install on your property.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, the reason is because I just want to make just a regular canopy, and I just trying to make it the most simple possible. And I still don't have nothing in my mind that the way it's gonna look. I just wanna, take my old stuff, and that's the reason. But if I can make a hand drawing if that's what you need.
Are you actually ordering the canopy from a manufacturer somewhere? That we could look at a brochure or something?
No, I don't, to be honest. So my father-in-law and me, we know how to weld, so, and I know that this coming season is gonna be a lot of wind and it's gonna be cold. So, and that's the reason I planned to do it on metal, and also to make it look old, because I like to match my my house. So yeah, unfortunately, no, I'm not gonna order it. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it from the bottom to the top. Yes, it's because the new canopies, they look kind of new, and I don't think it's gonna match my house. That's the reason.
Just to provide context to the commission, so as I understand it, we do have a motion on the floor for approval from Mary. However, no second. I am hearing 2 commissioners request imagery to go ahead and get a representation for what the end result will look like. At this point, the commission does have the ability to request Mary to remove her motion from the table and consider a new motion, or if another commissioner wants to make a suggestion to amend her motion, she's able to do that as well. If the commissioners would like more information, they're more than capable of asking that from the applicant. If that is the case, we would suggest maybe a tabling to go ahead and do a further review. If that is something that commissioners would want to entertain, that for sure is your choice.
well, I for one would like to see what it's going to look like prior to making a decision.
So you remove the first motion first before making a second motion?
Mary would have to resend her motion.
I rescind my motion.
So we have no motion on the floor. I do want to also make note that the applicant is saying that his overall dimensions would not be viewable from the street.
Not at all.
So I guess, Victor, we make a motion to table this? and request more information from the applicant?
You're more than capable of asking for that from the applicant. You can definitely request either a design drawing or, as we're usually accustomed to, is the manufacturer's image of what the overall look will be. You can request that from the applicant. You can also do a conditional permit to say these are the things that is allowed in the permit or not allowed in the permit. But you are all correct. He did not supply an actual photo of what the end result will look like. He did supply the maps and the renderings of the placement of the home and the actual canopy area, but nothing of what the end design would look like, which is privy to the commission's jurisdiction.
So I make a motion to table this and request that the applicant provide us more information of what the actual canopy will look like when it's completed.
I second that motion.
Okay, so I have a motion to table from Ms. Marty Loya and second by Ms. Kathy Apodaca. I will need your votes now. Ms. Mary Perez,
Aye.
Mr. Alfredo Gonzalez,
Yes.
Ms. Kathy Apodaca,
Yes.
Ms. Marty Loya,
Yes,
and Mr. David Estrada.
Yes.
Motion carried. Line item number 8 is open for questions or comments from commissioners regarding any current commission efforts and projects.
Anybody have any questions?
I just have one question, Victor, and I just want to bring it out, and I already asked you. But the current ballot for the Socorro election that's coming up, for the charter, there's no changes for the Land Commission, Historical Land Commission at this point?
Yeah, so that's a great question. As far as this board specifically is concerned, there has been no proposed changes in the charter, in the way that we meet, in the way that we're appointed, or in the purview or overall jurisdiction of the commission. There has been nothing proposed to change, diminish, or add on to the commission, or any kind of inclusion or overseeing of powers for the actual commission. The proposed changes in the charter were mainly typos, and then just updates from the previous year's edit to now, so kind of current revisions. And if the commissioners would like, I can go ahead and send you a link to the sample ballot, which has the actual information that will go on the ballot when you go vote.
And what about, would this be the time that, I mean, it's too late now, but would this be the time that any new ordinances will be adopted from the county mission trail plan?
So for an ordinance to be adopted, it would have to go, if it's a historical ordinance, it would go before HLC, and then council would actually have to review it, and we would have legal review it as well.
Okay.
Do you mean if there was an ordinance like on the election, or just an ordinance change in general?
Well, both. Was there anything on the ballot for the election that is adopting anything from that charter?
No. So the reason that the charter has to go through an election is because that's how it's legally required. For an ordinance, it wouldn't really have to go through an election. An ordinance review, request, or editing would go through our internal structure. For HLC or historic preservation in general, I don't foresee it needing to be an election item. There are very few things that do require an election for changes to the charter, but we can always start off with a review with a legal, and then from there, once we get feedback from legal, the system will go ahead and send it to HLC, and then depending on if it's a personnel matter, it might go to civil service. If there's a planning and zoning matter, it will go to planning and zoning for their review, and then it'll go through city council for final review. But there's a lot of steps just depending on the actual topic of what the ordinance would look like, if we want to edit something, include something. The easiest ones are just editing or inclusion, as opposed to creating a brand new ordinance. That would be a little bit more labor intensive. But like, say for example, like you wanted to make an edit because there's like a typo to the ordinance. That's just something that would kind of go through our internal structure. It wouldn't need an election.
Are there any other questions or comments?
Anyone?
Anything.
All right, line item number 9 is meeting adjournment.
Ready?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
The time is 6:26. I have a motion by Ms. Mary Pettis.
I second it.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Mary Pettis,
Aye.
Mr. Alfredo Gonzalez, Ms. Kathy Apodaca,
Yes.
Ms. Marty Loya,
Yes.
and Mr. David Estrada.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I will see you hopefully very soon, virtually next month, so we can go ahead and bring back the agenda item. And if you have any questions, just give me a call.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone. Be safe.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.